Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing a product from a company that I haven't reviewed in a while. Some of you may remember it from my earlier videos. TwoHawk extracts. Now this is a really fascinating brand to me because a lot of their products were vegan, particularly the gummies. They did not taste, feel, or even smell vegan. They were very nicely done, soft, rich, full of flavor, excellent effects. So today's product is one that I have not yet reviewed, a product type that I rarely review simply because they tend to leave me feeling with some side effects that linger into the next morning. I usually call that a hangover high. Now, this is very relevant to me specifically. You may not feel these effects, but tinctures are, they're interesting. They're meant to be held underneath the tongue. They are meant to be held there for a couple of seconds and then swallowed. The effects are supposed to kick in faster than a gummy, but not as fast as, say, an inhalable. Usually, I feel that they kick in around the same time frame, if not slightly less, maybe, than a gummy, about 40 minutes compared to 45 minutes to an hour. Today's product review, you can see that there. Let's focus out a little bit. There we go. This is Delta-8, 1,000 milligram. It's called StoryTeller from the TwoHawk hemp company. And the serving size is half of a dropper. Now, if this is you're going to have to do some math to figure out your preferred preference. I'm going to stick with the serving size of half a dropper full, and that should give us a decent high overall. The only thing I can think right here, it says 30 to 45 minutes to feel the effects. This is strongly dependent on your tolerance. It also depends on if you've ever had Delta-8 before, if you're a newbie, if you smoke marijuana, if you smoke pre-rolls that have Delta-8 in them, you may have already built up a tolerance. So 30 to 45 minutes is usually the starting point. Now, I'm not sure what flavor this is supposed to be. I will put it in the description when I finish the end of this video. It just says StoryTeller. Now, some of TwoHawk's flavoring are mystically, magically named simply for, I guess a cute factor. I don't actually know the flavor of this, and I've been looking around on here. It does not say anything as far as the flavor. So, we'll have fun with this one. The ingredients are Delta-8 and coconut oil. There is a QR code on the back that you can scan for the lab results, which is always interesting as I like to see what the lab results end up saying. Some companies will alter or doctor their reports. They will make it look like it's really got this, that, and the third in it, and in reality it was just pirated from another website. Now, I know the owners of TwoHawk extracts personally. I can verify that all of the information that they provide as far as lab results is correct, has been triply verified. Fantastic company, great people, and I'm really excited to see what the actual flavor of this is. I've yet to had something that I did not like from them. Their gummies were fantastic. Their vape pens, whether they're cartridges or disposables, fantastic product, and I very much look forward to trying this out now. So bear with me, we'll open this up. All right, so the bottle is very dark. Let's see if I can get that zoomed in on for you. There we go. Gotta focus a little bit, there's that. The bottle is darkly stained, and typically this is to prevent any breaking down or deterioration of the liquid inside. The darker the bottle, the harder it is for sunlight to break down the particles to the point where it just isn't effective anymore. It is sealed with a clear plastic tab right there, which we'll need to tear off. And the information on the back of the bottle is identical to what is on the back of this bottle, this packaging here. So let's tear off this tear strip here. Now, I like to shake up the extracts, the tinctures, only because some of the stuff can settle on the bottom, and when you take a dropper full or half a drop or however much you're dose is, you won't get the full effects of it. So we're just going to shake this here. Alrighty. Now that's good and shaken up. Nicely easy to open. I do like that. Let's suck up a little bit here. Ooh, that is a beautiful color. I'm going to try to hold that up to the light. This is absolutely gorgeous. Very light yellow, very similar to extra virgin olive oil. I also notice here the dropper is graduated in the sense that it has markings on it. Now, I'm going to try not to drip onto the base of this here, but if you can see that, I don't know if you're able to see that. There's a couple markings on there. There you go. They are labeled as a 0.25 milliliter, 0.50 milliliter, 0.75 milliliter, all the way up to 1 full milliliter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release all of that back in and then suck up just about, what is that? Certain tinctures are a little bit harder to draw up there just because it is, yes, that looks good right there. Now if you notice, there's some air bubbles that rose to the top, making it seem like there's more in here than there actually is, but to the best that I could do right now, that is half a dropper full, which is 0.5 milliliters. I want to say there's I believe that's a slight pineapple essence that I'm smelling right there. Maybe a hint of the coconut oil. I definitely get a very paradise tropical vibe from that scent right there. And no detectable trace of bitterness, hemp, flavoring, but let's try this out now and we'll see what the actual flavor of the Delta-8 StoryTeller by TwoHawk Extracts is. This is kind of hard to talk while keeping it under my tongue, but you are supposed to keep this under your tongue for about 30 seconds to a minute. That is definitely coconut. I definitely taste pineapple. That is wonderfully pleasant. That was lovely. Now, the reason you're supposed to keep the tincture underneath your tongue is because they are classified as a sublingual. Now, what that means is it's not necessarily an edible, it's not necessarily an inhalable. Tinctures work by being absorbed into the mucous membrane that is underneath your tongue. This allows for supposedly a faster absorption rate, and you don't lose as much of the Delta-8 during digestion since it's being absorbed into your bloodstream via your mucous membrane. This is also why you're supposed to swallow any remaining tincture that after the 30 seconds or so, and you should feel that there's a little bit of an oily texture. Very nice though. I'm enjoying this. That coats your tongue a little bit. There is it's not a bitterness, but it is definitely an oily texture that you feel on the underside of your, underneath the tongue. Very light bit on my bottom teeth that I do feel. But there was surprisingly no bitterness. There was no, oh my goodness, I need to rinse my mouth out, brush my teeth, eat a snack, whatever the case may be. There's just a very nice flavor that is definitely appreciated in terms of tincture. Now, again, tinctures are not my product of choice. Simply, that's my personal preference. But if you are looking for a way to get high quicker than an edible and not quite as quick as an inhalable, tinctures do the job. Now, one of the reasons that tinctures are so popular is because their effects last long. There have been instances where I've taken tinctures, I want to say, maybe 9-10 o'clock at night, and I'll wake up the next morning ready to start my day, and I still feel the effects. Now, for some people, that is huge. That is a way to get the most out of your money. That is the way to get the best effects possible, and you can really experience the full punch of the high. Now, the time is 10:28, so we'll say roughly 10:30 is when it's the initial dosage was consumed. Now, I am expecting probably around 11:15 is when I should start feeling the effects. So I'm going to pause the video. But before I do, I just want to go over one more thing with tinctures. They are not, and I repeat, not supposed to be vaped. Now, if you have an herbalizer or a vape device with a sub-ohm tank or anything like that, it might be very tempting to say, hey, let's see what this vape's like. Please don't do that. There's literally hundreds of articles and cautions and warnings on not to do this. The reason being is that this is supposed to be, in a sense, digested, absorbed. It is not meant to be inhaled, aerosoled, vaporized, any of that. There are devices that are meant to vape e-liquid. This is not e-liquid. This is called tincture. Another word for it would be oils, depending on how they're made and the ingredients that were used. Please, please, please don't vape these. I know several people have attempted to, and the results were, let's just say, less than desirable. So if you are using tinctures, they're meant to be orally, sublingually consumed. If you're vaping tincture, don't do it. It will say specifically that this is a vape cartridge that has a thick, very, very strong consistency of an oil, and that is what's meant to be vaped. This, I'll just slosh this around in here, I think you can see that. This is very, very liquid. You do not want to be putting a very liquid oil like that into a vape device. Devices that can vape are meant to have a much thicker consistency to properly aerosol the liquid and give you the proper high you're looking for. So now that the lecture was over, don't vape these. Sublingual goes under the tongue. Hold it for about 30 seconds to a minute. The longer you can hold it under your tongue, the better the absorption rate will be. And perhaps the quicker it will kick in, perhaps no. It really just depends on several personal factors, such as metabolism, your previous exposure to THC, your weight, your age, your gender. There are quite a few things that can affect the rapid onset effects of these particular types of products. So for me, it usually takes about, I would say, definitely closer to the 45-minute mark, but it's been a while since I've had one of these, and this is the first time that I'm trying TwoHawk's StoryTeller Delta-8 1000 milligram. So we'll start with that, and we will check back with you in about 45 minutes or so when I start feeling the effects. Thank you guys for watching up to this point, and we'll see you in a couple minutes when I do start to feel the effects, and I'm very excited to share with those with you in just a few minutes. All right, it's been about half an hour, 45 minutes since the initial dosage. Time now is 11:20, so slightly over. I do feel a very pronounced sense of feeling relaxed and a little drowsy. I do feel a little bit of it's a little hard to describe, but a dry mouth, but along with a sense of not being thirsty, if that makes sense. Like I have a desire to drink, but not a need, if that makes sense. A few minutes ago, I was actually starting to feel like I was getting a sense of feeling like I had so much energy. I had so much that I was thinking of and wanting to do and wanting to just get it done. I had a sensation of that time was rushing by me and I needed to get this done quickly. It almost felt like my hands were trembling. I had just, think of the Flash, if you will, from DC Comics. Just the feeling of I've got to go, I have so much to do, I don't have enough time, I'm babbling, and then it just mellows into a very calm euphoria, very relaxed, very comfortable. There is a enhanced sense of touch. I do feel this quite a bit more acutely. I do feel a sense of sereneness. I can't quite say that it makes me feel creative or more focused, but it does give me a sense of just zen, a very calm, quiet, just comfortable feeling right now. This is definitely a little bit more milder than I was expecting. I don't feel any overwhelming brain fog in a sense where you feel like you're just trying to battle your way through and not be as high anymore. Sometimes you feel a little dizzy, disoriented, frustrated with the fact of time is moving really slow. I'm sure the effects could progress, but after about 45 minutes or so, I would say that it may get a little higher, it may not, but at the moment, this is what you can expect after 45 minutes at the moment. There is I don't want to quite call it munchies, but I do have a desire to just snack on something, which I guess is munchies, but it's not an overwhelming need. Like, I don't have any specific cravings. I just know that I could go for a treat right now. At the moment, it feels more like maybe salt cravings, like potato chips, pizza. It also could be something sweet, like ice cream, cookies, cakes, things of that nature, but it's not an overwhelming must-have now. Sometimes when the munchies really do kick in, it can be depending on what time you ate last, if you're thinking about food, if power of suggestion happens, you see a commercial or you hear someone talking about it and you say, that sounds good. But it's not an overwhelming, like, I must have, I don't know, Lay's sour cream and onion chips right off the bat. It's comfortable. I would say that the desire to drink overrules the desire to eat anything. I do feel an increasing need it's more of a want, but I don't feel overwhelmingly drowsy. I don't feel out of control. I don't feel any sort of disorientation or paranoia, panic that I can't control the high, that it's too much and I don't want to be high anymore. There are several instances where that has happened to me, and that is a less than pleasurable experience. But at the moment, this is very relaxing, very calm. It's a lot better than what I expected. Some of the other tinctures that I've tried have gotten way too much, way too quickly, to the point where I was begging for the next day to be here so that I wouldn't feel any effects anymore. This is not one of them. I very much appreciate the smooth flavor, the very quick onset of the effects. I was expecting closer to 45 minutes to an hour, but right about the half an hour mark to the 45-minute is when I really started saying, yes, okay, I'm high now. I do also like that the packaging was very nicely done. This was a very creative design. I love that the bottle is glass. I love that the glass itself is dark. I don't usually recommend buying any kind of clear glass bottle that doesn't have any kind of coloring to it, because the tincture will just rapidly deteriorate, degrade, and it won't be used to much more than a paperweight, if you will. This company, TwoHawk Extracts, like I said, I know the owners. I'm very proud to be doing a review of their products, and I look forward to reviewing more of their products in the upcoming videos. I also would like to encourage you, if you do want to try this out for yourself or any of the other products that TwoHawk Extracts has, I can list a discount code in the description below, as well as an affiliate link. Any proceeds that I get from that allow me to continue to make these videos for you guys, to encourage you to try new things or to warn you to stay away from some. Now, your contributions have also helped me to upgrade my camera system. Before, I was using the camera on my Mac, and while I thought it was good, I am constantly looking for new ways to make my content better, more engaging, more interesting for you guys. If you haven't figured it out by now, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of hemp-derived cannabinoids and even more of the products that are infused with those particular compounds. I would like to try as many of those as I can in the time that we have together, As of right now, I can think of a couple more that I'm really looking forward to giving you guys. Perhaps more from the Into Cloud, perhaps more from the Demo Hemp. I have a bunch of brands just raring to go, and I look forward to sharing those with you. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in our next videos. Take care, guys. Bye.